What's up, Titan fans? How are we doing? This is the Week 6 pregame episode for the Tennessee Titans versus the Indianapolis Colts. And this is the week where we can change how we look in the division. I'm talking about if we win, we can pass the Colts and end up being second in the division with a game-breaking tie. So we have to win this week. But before we get started in the episode, let me go ahead and let you know that if you're not following me on YouTube, TikTok, and X, make sure you follow me on all three. The handle's the same no matter where you go. You found me on one, you can find me on all. It's Gluglacious. And also, throughout the week, I post shorts about anything Tennessee Titans. This week I posted some videos about me being back because I was gone for a little bit because of the hurricane. I didn't have power or internet for about a week and a half. I posted about the ESPN 32 team power rankings. I posted videos about the NFL analysts and their predictions, what they are extremely accurate about. And they even split this week 50-50 down the middle. And so now I'm doing my pregame video, but I do postgame videos, pregame videos, and also I do watch parties on YouTube every week. You just got to tune in. I just didn't do it last week because of the hurricane. Like I said, lost power, lost internet, had no ability to do a watch party with the live stream. But look, I'm going to be doing it this week, so make sure you get in, you join. I read every single comment here. So just go ahead, come in. It's a good time. Join in. So now let's go ahead and get started into things. Like I said, no one knows who's going to win this game. There's no clear-cut answer. Right here, as you see on the home screen, it's on the same one for both teams. Big stories. They're talking about, can the Colts steal a win? That's what they're talking about. They're talking about Will Levis and a shoulder injury, which, he's probably going to play. But that's what they're talking about. Let me scroll for you. Look, that's the big headline on the Titans page. You go to the Colts side, they're talking about the same thing. Can the Colts steal a win? And then reaction to Jonathan Taylor being out, which is a big story. No Jonathan Taylor this week. That's a big positive for us. And look, let's go ahead and check out some of these injuries going into the game. So, big things. The ones that are questionable. Kenny Moore, he's questionable. Anthony Richardson, we don't know if it's going to be him or Flacco. We don't know. We probably won't find out until like the day before or even game day. It's a big difference depending on if we're versing Anthony Richardson, who's very mobile, or Flacco, who's very accurate. But he's old, but he is accurate, and he's been around the block. He knows what he's doing. He can play quarterback. He looked well last week. Then Josh Downs is questionable. Michael Pittman, one of their big receivers, questionable. Jonathan Moore is a definite out, which is very good for us. It's good for us. The Titans down here, we're talking Coburn, he's out. Jamal Adams ruled out. He's the hard-hitting safety, but he's had injury issues in the past. He's had them leading up to the season, right? We signed him, and he missed multiple weeks due to just body soreness. So whatever reason he's out for this game. So you'll see a lot of hooker out there. Cedric Gray, he's been on IR. Wuzad, we know about him. McClendon, that's old news. We're not too concerned about them. And let's go ahead and look at the preview for the game. So they're talking about against the spread. Colts 4-1, Titans 1-3. Last meeting, the Colts beat the Titans 21-28. Yeah, if you didn't know, the Colts beat the Titans the last 2 times they played. They swept us last year. But before that, we had 5 straight wins on them. So, it goes back and forth. Last year was their year. They haven't had a long-term sweep on us, for multiple years since the Andrew Luck era. But Andrew Luck isn't there anymore. Not too concerned about it. They're talking about players to watch. Theirs is Alec Pierce. Ours is Will Levis. And, it does come down to Will Levis. A majority of the game comes down to Will Levis and his ability to make good decisions. We know he has that fire. He has that dog in him. But he needs to have good decision making. We cannot see any flick plays. Like the start of the game when he was 3 or 4 last week, when right over the middle, he did not see the linebacker, and he threw an interception right to him. And then right after that, he did a hero ball where he dove for a first down and injured his throwing shoulder. He was trying to get back into the game so bad. Didn't happen. So, hey, it is what it is. Let's get into some stats real quick. Let's see what they have. Oh, look, matchup predictor right here. So even though the NFL Network was split right down the middle with their analysts, 5 analysts for, 5 against. The ESPN right here, their ESPN analytics, just give the Colts the slight advantage at 51.1%. So they do have a slight advantage according to the ESPN analytics. But the game is going to be in Nissan Stadium. It's looking like some good weather. So that's good because we need to run the ball. We need good weather. We need to run the ball more than we have been because last week we ran the ball a lot whenever Mason Rudolph was in, and we did well. We need to continuously run the ball. Let Levis take his shots. Let him have his chances, his opportunities. Don't, take the dog out the fight. You know what I'm saying? You got to let him continue to throw, have that passion. But if you look at the stats right here, if you can see them both for passing yards, if Anthony Richardson's playing, he's questionable. He's 39 of 77, 654 yards, 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Will Levis looks pretty similar. He's 67 of 98. So he has better completion percentage, right? He has 50 less yards. He has 1 more touchdown. He has 4 touchdowns, but they have the same amount of interceptions. But the big thing with Levis is those flick plays, right? He has the fumbles. We don't have much of an offensive line, but big news. We ended up signing Watson. He's going to be our right guard now. I know he's on the practice squad before, but we ended up elevating him. So we have a new person at right tackle to try out because we know Duncan ain't the answer, and NPF struggled as well. So now we have a new right tackle. We'll see how he does. He comes from the Browns. He'd worked with Bill Callahan before, so he's familiar with the Bill Callahan offensive line system. So hopefully that goes well. I know Jonathan Taylor will be out, so we don't have to worry about him. Pollard, 61 carries, 241 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Pierce, he'll be in because also, remember, Pittman's out, so they'll be relying on him a lot. But he's 13 receptions, 358 yards, 3 touchdowns, where Ridley only has 9 receptions, 141 yards, and 1 touchdown. Let me get back to just the Titans now. Let's look more into the team stats. So right here, Mason Rudolph didn't do bad last week. This is his stats for the season, 9 of 17. They didn't throw the ball much, but the big thing is he has 0 turnovers. That is major. Running the ball, I think we're good either way, whether it's Tony Pollard or it's Tajay Spears. Tony Pollard does have a better average, but they've both been pretty good this year. No complaints really in the running game besides the fact we're not running enough. I know we're trying to modernize our offense. We want to throw the ball more, but running the ball has been kind of slow. The offensive line's kind of suffered, but we really need to get this passing game up and going, but not force anything. Let it just happen naturally. We might have to do some play actions, but it all depends on the offensive line. If we have time to run a play action, wait for those routes to develop, because Calvin really only has 9 receptions. 9 receptions in 4 games. That is crazy. It's just a little over 2 receptions a game. D-Hop, he has 10 receptions. He missed week 1 basically, and very limited snaps, and week 2 was limited snaps as well, but he still has 10 receptions. Tyler Boyd, look, he has 10 receptions. He has those targets, but I remember him having lots of drops. Those were catchable balls. I don't know what's going on with Boyd with those drops, but defense is the highlight. Kenneth Murray, he's racking up tons of tackles. Harold Landry, as you see, he's got 4 sacks on the season. He's doing outstanding. Quandre Diggs, also, he's doing well. He was a great acquisition in the offseason, along with L'Jarius Sneed. He shut down Tyreek Hill. He's been shut down every week. Big Jeff, he should be back this week, which is good because T-Sweat clogged the middle last week. He was amazing. And that was with Simmons off the field. Now we're going to have both of them on. It's going to be outstanding. The defense can hold their own as long as the offense doesn't let them be worn out by committing so many turnovers. We have one of the best defenses in the league, which we'll get to in the stats. We'll go to the NFL stats as a whole in a second. But yes, T-Sweat is dominating. Harold, he shows flashes, but he was more of a preseason hero. The kicking has been outstanding. I think we've made every field goal so far. It's been good. And then the punting, it's been good minus the blocks, or the one block. And then, he is punting. Stonehouse out there trying to punt it as fast as he can because he knows he's in trouble, which I would be terrified to punt if I was him. But yes, let's go ahead and see some of the Colts stats real quick, see what all the hype is about. I know they had a lot of hype coming into the season with Anthony Richardson. Everybody thought he was going to be MVP. They thought he was going to be like Stroud. Even though he only played in 3 games last year, we saw a small sample size of him, but everyone thought he was going to be outstanding. But now they're seeing exactly how it is. His stats aren't that good, but Joe Flacco right here sitting at a 70% completion rate whenever Anthony Richardson was at 50. So 70% completion rate. His average is 7.5. He has 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's going to, not turn the ball over. That's what Flacco does, right? He's a big-time player. That's why he's a Super Bowl champion. But since the 2 top running backs are out, basically, you got Jonathan Taylor out. Anthony Richardson's probably going to be out. Then they got Trey Sermon. So... and he only has 19 carries on the year for 62 yards. So that does hurt them a lot. And then obviously Michael Pittman, he's injured as well, and he was their number 2 receiver. So we're only going against Alec Pierce and Josh Downs, which I think he's injured as well. So, they're kind of struggling. They are struggling in the receiving core. Let's go ahead and check out their defense. Let me look up their leaders in defense. Let's see. Stats. No, not that. Look up team stats. Team stats right there. I know. I should be more organized. All right, here it is. For offense. So we're on offensive pass. I know we're down at the bottom. We're probably look, we're second to last. We're down here, but it's okay. You can win even with bad offensive stats or passing stats. Because look at the Vikings. The Vikings are below us, but the Colts, they must be pretty high up here. Yeah, look, they're right below the Chiefs. Their offense looks pretty good for passing the ball. I mean, if you look at interceptions, I know we're near the top interception because we got 6. We are tied in first with 6 team interceptions. Touchdowns. We are going to be near the bottom, like down at the bottom right here. Only a handful of teams below us, where the Colts are going to be up here because Joe Flacco lit it up with his 5 touchdown passes. Rushing. We shouldn't be so bad. All right, obviously the number 1 rushing team right now is the Ravens. But you scroll down. Oh, man, we are kind of near the bottom. 445. I know we were passing a lot, but I did not expect us to be 4th from the bottom. And where are the Colts? Colts they're pretty far up here, They're with that top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9th in the league in rushing. So, hey, it is what it is. But look at the defense. This is where we dominate. Our offense is struggling, but defense. If you're looking right here for yards given up by defense, we are number 1. We have the best passing defense in the league by a bit. Look, the team above us has 806. We're at 567. We're 250 yards plus, for passing. Like, we are good to go. Our pass defense is great. And even if you look at completion percentage, like the Falcons, they give up a 74% completion percentage. But look, we're down near the bottom, dude. There's only a couple teams that have a better pass percentage defense. Ours is on point. Touchdowns. I think we're doing pretty good. We're down at the bottom. We're only giving up 3 passing touchdowns. But here's where we struggle is the interceptions because we don't get any. That's one of our Achilles heels is the turnovers on this team. We have 0 interceptions this season, 0. And for fumbles, I think we have 1. So we are struggling with that. I mean, we can get to it. But that's the defense. Let's see fumbles. Let's see where we're at. Forced fumbles. Dang, the Niners have 10 forced fumbles. That is wild. It almost doesn't seem real. We're in week 6, and they have 10. That's crazy. While we're down here at the very bottom with just one. And, we're down here with the Panthers. I mean, that seems about right in the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? The Texans, they're doing outstanding, and they only have one. But our turnover, it does not look good. Like, fumbles recovered is just one. We forced one. We got one. No, we got two. I guess they must have just fumbled something. I don't remember it. But, yeah, we have 2 fumbled recovers, 1 forced. And then, let's see. Let's check our downs real quick. Let's see. 3rd down attempts, 3rd down made. 3rd down made. Look, we're at the best. We're down there. They don't make a lot of 3rd downs on us. The top team, the Colts, they got 35 for defense 3rd downs made, right? So their defense allows 3rd down made all the time. 35. We only allowed 14. Then for 4th down conversions, our defense, let's see. We allowed 3. That's kind of a lot. But the Colts, they allowed 7. Wow. Their defense just folds. That's insane. I didn't know it was that bad for them. But look, this about sums it up for this episode. I was just wanting to get on here, throw some stats out, give a pregame show. And boy, I messed this up. I got the Dolphins helmet up here. I meant to replace that. My bad. But you know what? I'm not going to change it because it takes too much time. I would have to redo the entire video. Not doing it. But yeah, that's supposed to be the Colts up there. I'll fix it. It'll be ready for the watch party. But hey, it is what it is. I am human. But yeah, don't you think it's wild as well that, I don't know if you saw, but the Jets, they promoted Todd Downing. Remember our offensive coordinator for a couple years? They promoted him to offensive coordinator. He was so bad. But it could be like the Malik Willis thing where he goes somewhere else and he lights it up. It's like always the Titan thing that happens. You've seen it with Malik. You've seen it with the receiver that went to the Lions. I can't remember his name. Khalif Raymond. Khalif Raymond, he left. All of a sudden, he's doing great with the Lions. But yeah, we'll see how he does this Sunday with Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, that does sum it up for today's episode. Oh, one last thing. We did sign Trevor Siemian, which I know he's just going to be a backup. I think we just signed him basically because in case Levis is ruled out, because he's questionable. If he is ruled out, Rudolph will need a backup. And they're familiar with Siemian, so because I think he played with Callahan in the past. So that's the reason why they signed him, is just for the familiarity of having him, because he's worked with him a couple other times. But yeah, that does sum it up for this episode. Just go ahead and let me know what you think about the Titans and how you think they're going to do this Sunday down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tighten up, baby.